This is New School Marketing Podcast for real estate pros, where the very best of real estate reveal their latest systems and strategies. With your host, Marlon Aquino.
What's up, everyone? Marlon Aquino here, CEO Buzzin. You're now watching a newly branded show called New School Marketing for Real Estate Hotshots. Before, it was just going under Q&A with so-and-so. But we are starting to launch this new series this year in 2021. And I'm super excited to have on as our first guest of 2021, the one and only Rafael Angarita, Ryan Serhants Marketing Director out of New York City.
What is happening, Marlon? Thank you for having me, man.
No, man, it's a pleasure to have you here. I've been following you for a while, and it truly is an honor to finally have you on here.
Thank you, man. Let's dive into it.
Yeah, so listen, I'm pretty sure most people already that are watching this, that are going to watch this, already following you. They know what you're about, but I'd like to go in a little deeper because we want to know, what were you doing before you started working with Ryan Serhant? How did you end up working for the best real estate agent in the world, probably, arguably? What was that screening process like for you?
Yeah, I mean, I've been doing performance marketing and digital marketing for over 10 years now, working with a variety of different companies. And really throughout my time, I've worked with real estate agents, kind of like on the side. My brother's a licensed agent down in Florida. So I've been always exposed and like kind of brainstorming ideas around real estate, never to the level that I'm at right now, obviously. But I mean, I've just been fortunate enough to be kind of spread around the entire space. So from working with boutique agencies to education companies to healthcare companies, and throughout that entire time working with real estate agents, I had the great idea. I'm originally from Miami. I grew up in Miami. And I was, just doing my thing over there, building a career. That's where I started. And then I had the great idea to drop everything and move to New York City to really chase the dream, try to come to the city and build a name for myself here. I came with the goal to meet people and put myself in situations that I otherwise wouldn't have been able to down in Miami. So I came with that mindset and just really went at networking hard. I went at networking aggressively, from just really going to different events to just literally starting conversations with people at a bar, at a restaurant, over dinner, etc. And one thing led to another. I made a good friendship and relationship with someone that was in Ryan's sphere, and an opportunity came about for when that Ryan was looking for someone to come in and lead that internally. Before, he would work with different vendors and agencies, but he really wanted to take someone to just, again, add to the team. He was around the corner from launching his company. And I was part of that. I was introduced to him, and then we just kicked it off. And, ever since then, we've been working together, not only on the real estate side of things within the brokerage Serhant, but also collaborating with Serhant Studios, building out everything that we're doing with Serhant Ventures and the Satellite Serhant brand, which is basically the education branch of the brokerage. And we have different programs there specifically for real estate agents, not only internal agents, but also really anyone around the world. We have over 6,000 agents in 108 countries that are part of our community. And yeah, I mean, there's a lot of things happening at Serhant World, and I'm just glad to be part of it.
So let me ask you, because he was outsourcing his marketing, sounds like, before. He decided he wanted to kind of bring in and bring it in-house.
Well, he's always had a person running marketing, and her name is Kristen, and she's amazing. But focusing on this very specific thing, digital marketing, that's where I come in. And I was an addition to that team to really hone in and own everything from a media buying standpoint, performance marketing. So we work hand in hand with Kristen, and she leads all our creative and marketing for the real estate side of things, and she is great.
Wow, so it is it's a big team, and honestly, you couldn't have picked a better team to be a part of. That's amazing. my hat's off to you. It's nothing easy. I know what it's like leaving home and going thousands of miles away to pretty much, like you said, make your own name. So my hat's off to you. You certainly have done that. And I'm pretty sure the big things are just coming. So real quick. So Ryan Serhant obviously does things very differently than anyone else in the game. So when he's hiring, I'm sure he's hiring with the same mindset. Obviously, how is it what you guys are doing as a team at Ryan Serhant? Like, what's the theme for him? Like, when you guys go and you're looking at what you said, digital marketing, and he's looking to, he's got so many different venues. How does he hone it in and pick a theme for just the name?
I mean, it's all about amplification. We're the best at doing that, and we focus so much on building brand that it's a huge asset for us, and we just get to leverage that in everything that we do, from generating leads to entertaining people with the content that we're creating to building out an entire education community. It's all about the brand, and really providing that, not just putting out a product, but creating an experience for anyone that we work with, whether on the real estate side to sell a property or to help a buyer find the property, or providing products for real estate agents to leverage and grow their business. We want to be able to provide an experience with everything that we do. So that's the focus.
Yeah, it certainly seems like he's building momentum. He wants to continue to grow. He wants to hit his name, his business to grow. But he's also looking back and he's grabbing a bunch of people and bringing them up with him, pretty much.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right?
Yeah, and that's the whole the vision for the company, and part of the reason where, if you see the logo Serhant is the entire time for Ryan's career has been really about the Serhant team and putting himself really as big as he could possibly be. But the whole vision with the company is that Ryan's center of attention stops at the dot, and everything else is anyone that's part of the team. So he wants to create a platform for everyone to that is part of the company to have and really build up their personal brands, especially on the agent side. Is really focused around the agent's brands first, and the bigger that they are, the bigger that the brokerage will be, which is part of what they're doing. Serhant Studios is creating the media network called Listed, providing shows and entertainment, tying in real estate and leveraging our agents and giving them that platform. Basically the same that Bravo did for Ryan with $1 Million Listing. They want to replicate exactly that and leverage Ryan's followership to build awareness around not only the real estate that we're selling, which is obviously the most important thing. We want to be able to bring awareness to that, but also entertain and build our agents' brands. And that same way kind of trickles down into every other department and every other discipline that we have, from marketing to creators to, the education sector. So it's all about building all around brand.
Double-edged sword, certainly. And not only that, but I'm glad I didn't even, it was a question I wanted to ask, or inside my head, I've always asked at least, which is, what was the thought behind the period on the logo? Serhant, period. It was very specific. It always stood out. I'm not sure if anyone was ever asked, but that really went deeper into why you guys did it, I'm assuming.
And it's a big element of everything from a branding standpoint. When you really dissect everything that is being designed, it's
very
a big part of it.
Not by accident.
It's very intentional. Everything is very intentional. You'll be surprised, if you step into one of our meetings, the level of detail that we get into to everything that we're doing, from the text. It's very, very thoughtful, and that's really what sets us apart. That's why we're able to kind of build this huge persona, because we're so thoughtful about it. We're not just doing things for the sake of doing things. Everything has purpose.
Well, I can, I think when we think of a brand like Coca-Cola, Burger King, there's a way that we feel about it when we think about it. And I certainly know that the efforts that, Serhant and the team, everything that you guys are doing is succeeding, because when you think of Serhant, you feel a certain way. You get excited, I feel. You not only think real estate, but you also get excited. And I think like you said, not so many agents, teams are focusing on being intentional. So when people do think real estate, they also get excited and motivated to do something.
Right. And it's all about creating that experience, right? Like that feeling. It's not just, I need to build a brand that I need to just have a nice logo and that's my brand. That's not your brand. That's your visual identity, and like that's needed to have something that, your Nike check, so that when you see it, you're like, oh, that's Nike. You need to have that image, but also your reputation and how people remember you is really where your brand comes into. And just, we have the luxury of having Ryan, someone that is just a genius at building brand, to work with and really lead us into, just completely changing the way the real estate game is played.
Well, it's your goal, right? It's to disrupt.
Exactly. Absolutely. And I feel like we're slowly, definitely accomplishing that.
Slowly. I don't know if slowly. You guys have gone like head first and everything, and it's honestly, I think the response is nothing but amazing. But I think so what you were saying, and you've said this before inside of Clubhouse other times, how important storytelling is really when it comes to building that relationship. And again, when people think real estate, getting excited to work with you. Can you go a little deeper when it comes to that, how well you guys do that when it comes to creating that feeling and in the story?
Yeah, I mean, facts tell, stories sell is one of my favorite quotes from Ryan. And, it's the
Bible.
Best way, the best way to put it. You want to be able to tell a story. I mean, it's the best way that humans connect. Whether it's about real estate or about a freaking candle, whatever it might be, there's a story behind this, how it was made, where the ingredients were crafted from, and the process behind it. And then, okay, buy my candle. So you want to buy a candle that you understand how it was made, what it took to be made, to be created, and who made it. So leveraging those details in the way that you present anything, it's a huge tool, and Ryan has been able to really leverage that, and obviously build an entire empire from that.
I see. When you guys are saying, guys, use your listings to when you're showcasing it to tell a story, and I see that in like Ryan's content. I see him. There's some kind of issue. There's he's running from somewhere to somewhere. Most agents go on live and immediately this is the bathroom, this is the kitchen, you're looking at a beautiful backyard here. There's no context, nothing else to hold me to. And I think you guys are doing an amazing job there when it comes to the content and bringing people in emotionally.
Yeah, and it's the power of improv is really what will get you there. And Ryan talks about that all the time, that there's coaches out in the industry, real estate coaches, that are like, oh, we have your scripts, and they just provide you scripts for you to memorize and like kind of be a robot. And yeah, you could maybe try to use that and think that, you're still in the 1980s, but from someone that is actually selling today, like literally today, he was closing deals. Ryan, this is that I'm talking about. Actively being a real estate agent and providing you that knowledge of, hey, look, scripts, that's the old school way. You want to be able to really set yourself apart, learn improv, learn how to always be quick on your feet and just keep a conversation going and just go flow with the conversation. And regardless of the scenario, what kind of personality you're dealing with, you'll always be able to adjust and move the conversation forward. And it's one of the main skills that, everyone in the team has to take, and everyone has to really be have a good understanding of improv basics. every agent that's part of Serhant and every agent that has been on Ryan's team has gone through those type of trainings to just help them. And again, we've been able to build a pretty high performing team, and being able to launch a brokerage from it.
To say the least, yeah. To say the least. But you're totally right. I can, concur on that end as an actor as well, that, you're always told that if you're having trouble, sticking to a script, you need to just let it go do some improv. It allow you to relax, get in front of the camera and just feel comfortable. And if you mess up, it's okay. You're relatable. People feel
Yes, and
eggs.
There you go.
Oh, wow. He's definitely gone in deep on you guys when it comes to all of that, and it shows. Listen, that's so important. Yes, and all the time. Everyone's always going, but if it's okay, it's all right. People are gonna like you even more when they see you stumble, when they see you mumble, whatever it is. Your camera falls in the middle of a live, pick it up.
It's okay. We're human. You have to stay authentic, right?
You're perfect. You actually repel people.
Right.
They get scared to approach you. You become unapproachable. So that's a fine line to walk. But let's move it forward, because I want to get into the strategies that you guys are using right now to help the team, the agents that Serhant is working with, right? What are some of the strategies that you guys are leveraging on your end? I kind of want to go in a little bit in, what is the technology that you're using? What are you staying away from? And really, what's the secret recipe? What's the special sauce?
The special sauce.
Everyone's looking for, yeah.
Action. You have to take action and really hone in on defining your brand. That's I know that it's a vague statement, but again, like once you're able to figure out your core identity and then just produce consistent content and let the world know who you are and what you do and shout all the wins that you get from the mountaintops and then continue on that cycle, that is the secret sauce. That's the Serhant brand strategy system. And that's what we teach through our programs. We've been able to, I've personally been able to see the impact that it has on people's businesses, not only our internal agents, but anyone around the world, any of the agents that are part of our communities. It's a real thing. And if you put that into action and you start applying it to your business, you'll see the impact that it has. There's some agents, anywhere, and whether it's in the United States or in Canada or whatever other country, that are still doing, things that really worked years ago, like advertising on coupon books and that sort of game that, yes, it'll get you business, but when you think about scaling and really gaining control of, okay, I want to go from advertising on coupon books that, maybe 200 people get in my town, how do I turn that up and reach 5,000 people and make 10,000 people know that I'm an agent and I'm in your area and I'm the expert and I could sell your home today? Digital is the way, through content, through advertising. It's you have to gain that control, and you can only do that through building a personal brand, leveraging an online presence that is just going to make people aware of who you are, and drive that referral business, right? That's the secret sauce. Just continue kind of stacking your wins one at a time and letting everybody know. Every time you win, everybody has to know. It's not about bragging. It's just about showing results, letting all the rest of the population know that you're selling things, that you're accomplishing your clients' goals, and you're helping people in your community. If you're able to do that, why would someone not want to work with you?
You're so on the money, and I actually want to break that into two pieces. So when it comes to building that brand that you're talking about, everybody just thinks that just running an ad is the answer, but no one really puts in enough effort to really get it right, where that personal branding actually builds momentum and starts getting that results that they see other people like Ryan and his team getting. So what exactly goes into building that personal brand? Because I know that agents think that putting an ad that, just for sale sign or just sold for sign, just sold sign is going to attract more clients, which, like you said, it might, to some degree, but to the effect that we're looking to create, it's not. So how do they do that? What's the kind of content that you pitch your agents to start with when they're looking to build that brand?
Yeah, I mean, you have to hit on three things. If you could hit on all three, amazing, but at least one of them. You have to educate your audience, entertain, or inspire them. If you could do all three in one piece of content, you figured out the sauce. If not, just focus on providing value on one of those three pillars. And that could be through just providing information around the neighborhood, the school districts, nightlife, etc. That's one area that you could provide information about. And it doesn't need to be like instructional. You could just show your lifestyle and show how you live your life, because you're also, as an agent, you're also a human being that lives in that area, most likely. So, just being authentic, showing that human side that is not just real estate, work, but you also live alive, and you also like to go to the park, and you like to go out to dinner. And like, if you're living in the same area that you're working at, you could showcase that lifestyle and make people fall in love with that neighborhood. You want to be able to, again, create content that generates conversations. It's not all about always selling. You want to be able to build relationships with your audience, because, another one of my favorite quotes from Ryan is, people hate being sold to, but they love shopping with friends. So if you're able to make friendships with that future client, it'll just make everything easier. So focus on that.
Oh my gosh, that was gold. That was gold. Honestly, I it goes to show, because, if for anyone watching, you go to Ryan Serhant's page, you'll see him, there's shots of him running to the office in the city with a coffee on his hands. There's that shot that you guys took, and then you have it on your profile where you're trying to take the shot of the bike in the middle of the streets. This takes some creativity. This does take some thinking outside of the box. So if you're, if it's just like, I'm gonna get behind a computer, when behind my desk, I mean, you might get someone to tune in, but if you actually take the effort, take it outside the office, and you start creating an environment for someone to actually feel, like we were saying, results start coming out. So the second part of that was, so they're attracting it. That's how they're doing it. Like what you're saying about referrals, what is what's for you guys? What's the process like with following up with leads, so that you get those referrals, at the 5-year points where they start moving, or, having friends and family recommend? What is your go-to to that?
I mean, it's part of just following through, following back, and following up, just staying consistently in front of everybody, whether it's through a direct message or through social media and the content that you're constantly putting out through those outlets that you have, whether it's Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, LinkedIn, etc. And just engaging and continuing to remind everyone that you work with that you are a real estate agent. And if they want to work with you in the future, you're right there. What you want to be able to build this type of awareness, where that when people think real estate, they think of you, flat out, and going back to what I was saying earlier, is not so much of pushing real estate and always be selling on your outlets, but there's gotta have that, you gotta build that connection, and content is the name of the game. There's just no other way. But before all the content, to really create that sense of trust from a client, is being able to deliver results, so that next time they need something, or their friend brings up a fact that they're trying to sell, they know, okay, I have this great person that delivered on what they promised. They got me top dollar for my property, or they found me a great deal.
They have my back.
Let me tell you about them. I'll put you in touch with them. So focus on providing results and staying top of mind for everyone.
So with this content that you're doing, obviously you're using to stay on top of, previous customers and staying top of mind. Does that entail, obviously, I'm assuming, in any given day, are you simultaneously emailing your database and hitting them through like Facebook and ads, or there's like periods where you do emails this time, and then you do ads another time? Or
I mean, it varies. There's definitely a cadence that has to be happening through email. It's so important to always hit your database with information. That's where your newsletter comes into play. us just providing value, not even asking for anything, but there's something awesome that happened. Like Ryan just sold $132 million mansion. That was something that everyone should be aware about. So we let all our database know, hey, we just broke a record, like a literal record. The most expensive home in Florida was sold by the one and only Ryan Serhant. So those type of news, and again, it goes back to what I was saying earlier, shouting all your wins from the mountaintop. If you have all these different programs going through your newsletters, you have some ads running to generate new leads to build up to your database, to then put them on that nurture journey through email, and just following up, trying to get someone on the phone so then you can start building that relationship. And once you have that relationship, then you just nurture that relationship. You either turn them into a client or you just continue providing value. You have to be able to follow up with value. You can't just be calling people for the sake of calling people, because people just get frustrated and they just will start to not answer your phone call. So again, be very intentional with what you want to be able to provide for people, and focus on that relationship building.
Awesome. All right. Well, I think we've come to the end of our show. Rafael, thank you so much. We're going to close out with just a few fun questions. They're very simple. We'll go for it. Coke or Pepsi?
Coke.
McDonald's or Burger King?
McDonald's.
All right. New York, Miami?
Ooh, that's a tough one. Right now, New York is the best place to be, and we're coming back.
I love that. I love that. All right. And the last one. If and when we arrive at the pearly gates of heaven, what's the first thing you want God to say to you?
Welcome.
Awesome. All right. Well, Rafael, thank you so much for coming on here and dropping massive value. I hope the teams and solo agents can take away from this, from what you guys are doing, and especially what you and Ryan are designing over there, because obviously you're leading the way in what the industry standards will be in the future and what it is. So thank you so much for giving up your time.
I appreciate it, man. It was great chatting, and I look forward to being back.
And if any one of our followers wanted to learn more about you and follow you, where can they do that?
They can follow me on Instagram, Rafa N Grams, or email me at Rafael@Serhant.com.
All right, you guys heard it. There it is. Thank you so much, Rafael. And guys, thank you so much for watching. We will be doing this once a week. We're going to be having more guests coming on here. So if you have anyone that you love and you want to see on and have some questions for, make sure to drop me a DM or drop inside my Facebook page and let me know so we can bring them on here. And of course, keep enlightening your career. So thank you so much, guys. That's all for today. We're going to go ahead and say bye. Until next time, thank you very much.